Hey everybody, it's Debbie O'Neill of Scrap Me Quick Designs. How many of you collect the Cricut Cutie figurines? I know there's a lot of us that collect these, but you're not always sure what are you going to do with them once you get them. I have a solution for you today.
Okay, now is this not the cutest shelf unit you've ever seen for your to put your Cricut Cuties on? This is from my friend Teri over at Teri's Makery. She's making these and selling them in her shop. Now it's made out of MDF board, so it's very sturdy. It comes with 4 shelves that you put on, and it will hold up to 12 Cricut Cuties. Now this is so cute, don't you think? Even if you didn't collect Cricut Cuties, you might want to just put one of these on your wall in your craft studio just for fun because it's so adorable. Teri is selling these for $45 in her shop, and she's given me a special coupon code to share with my Cricut followers here. And if you use the coupon code CUTIE10, then you get 10% off. Now, Teri said if you want to purchase anything else in the shop, you can use that CUTIE10 code for that as well. So thank you, Teri, for that. That's super sweet of you to do that for us. Now, each of the kits comes with everything you need to customize your Cricut Cutie, and you're going to do the painting. So it comes unfinished, and then you paint it whatever color you want to match what colors you like. Now, Carrie's kit does come with your choice of 4 colors. She has a selection, and if you don't want to use those colors, you can use your own acrylic paint to paint it the color that you prefer. That's what I did with mine so that they would match my craft studio. Okay, now I'm going to show you an overview of everything that comes in the kit. You're going to see that Teri has thought of everything. Basically, once you get these home, you're going to be ready to paint them right away. You're going to have everything you need to do that, including the command strips that go on the back of this to hang it on your wall. So you're going to be ready to display your Cricut Cuties right away. Anyway, so let me show you what all that includes, how my tips for painting, because I know some of you are not used to painting things, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to paint these, okay? Super easy, great tips. Be sure and watch that. At the end of that, I'm also going to show you how these look on the wall in my craft room with my Cricut Cuties on them. Are you ready? Let's take a look at unboxing what you get. There's some things, I'll go through this in a minute, but you will get this really nicely made Cutie Shelf DIY kit instructions. It has step-by-step instructions of exactly how you're supposed to paint your cutie and get it ready. It's got a little picture of what it looks like down here once you get the shelves and everything in it. And this is really great to get this. And then your cutie is actually taped down onto a board. Okay, so I just use my X-Acto knife here, and I'm going to carefully peel the tape off. Your cutie actually is shrink wrapped. Before you take the shrink wrap off, you want to make sure that your cutie looks like it's intact, okay? You don't have any broken parts on the antenna here, okay? Mine looks fine, so that means, guess what? I get to open it up. If it looks like it's broken, contact Teri's Makery right away, and they'll handle what you need to do next if for some odd reason you receive one that is broken due to shipping. Okay, I've got the cellophane off, and now you're going to notice that your cutie may have a little bit of an odor to it. That is because this is laser cut, so it has kind of burned the design into the MDF board that it's made out of. So this is MDF board. It is not wood product. It's MDF, but it's very sturdy, and so you'll notice a slight odor. That is totally normal. Don't worry about that. But you'll have your cutie, and you will have the 4 little MDF shelves. Okay, so you'll have 4 of these in your packet. And the thing I want to point out is that these have a paper coating on them, and I just use my Cricut tool to help me get that off. So I just grab a corner and then peel it right up. Okay, so you want to remove this from any of your shelves before you start painting. It's only on one side, so you'll go through and you'll remove all of those. All right, then for your cutie also has that, and you'll see here I just use my Cricut tool and peel this up. All right, so that's how I get this part off. Now, you want to make sure that you don't take the eyes off, and this is all in the directions that Teri has provided for us, but I'm just going to show you how easy it is to get that part off right now. Okay, just really super quick here. It's really easy. You can go in with your hook tool and get your weeding tool and help get that up would be my recommendation. Now, okay, besides your cutie and the shelves, you also will have in your packet, you're going to have the paint. So you get a little thing of black and white that's going to be used to paint the eyes, and then you also get a small container that has the color that you want to paint your Cricut Cutie. Now, Teri gives you a choice of 4 different colors. You can pick which color when you place your order. Now, the 4 colors Teri has are more of the pastel range of the Cricut Cuties. I tend to like the bolder colors, or I want to match my colors in my craft room. So if you prefer, you can also just use any acrylic paint, will work just great, which is what I did in my case painting mine, because I wanted to use some different, more bold colors. All right, but any acrylic craft paint you can use. So if you had that question. And then you also get a really nice little packet of supplies. So let's take a look at what you get. So pretty much from start to finish, when you order this, you will have everything you need basically to get started to get your cutie painted and ready for you to put up. So you do get a couple of latex gloves so that you can not get your hands dirty, for those of you who worry about that. And you also get a little paintbrush. You get a sponge brush. So the little paintbrush is for helping you when you're painting the detail on the eyes and so forth, and then the larger brush you can use to paint your overall body of your cutie. And you also get a little wooden stick, and the instructions will tell you that once you paint your cutie, you can just take the little wooden stick and run through the groove where you see the lines on the Cricut. If you want that to be sharper, there's a little wooden stick. It's got 2 different ends on it, so you can use that. It also comes with a little sanding block. So when you go to put your shelves in, after you paint your shelves, because you're going to paint both sides of your shelves, you would then need to, they're going to sit in the slots just like this. Like this one fit in perfectly, right? You just saw me put it in, super easy. Occasionally, one of the shelves is a little bit thicker, and because of the amount of paint that you put on it, and you may need to just sand the edge, and Teri has thoughtfully provided us with a little sanding block to help sand it just enough that then it's going to fit in the slot perfectly for us. So that's what the little sanding block is for. I also used it to clean up the edges. So here is the outside edge. You can see it's kind of a darker brown color. I liked that. So I got a little bit of paint splash on the side here when I was painting my Cricut, and I just used a little sanding block to sand off the paint on the edge. Okay, so that's another use for that. Not only do you get everything, the Cricut, the shelves, and the paint and the supplies that you need, but you also get the command strips that you use on the back of your cutie to hang it up on the wall. So Teri has included everything for us, and I really appreciate that because it made it super fast and easy for me to get my Cricut Cuties painted and ready. So next I'm going to show you kind of the steps that I used and what I recommend for painting your cutie, and let me know if you have any other questions and I'll try to answer those as well. But let's get started on getting our cutie ready. Now that I've already painted 2 of my cutie sign holders, I wanted to give you some tips that I found as I was working. Okay, one, you always want to keep this nice and flat when you're painting it, so leave it laying on a flat surface. Also, I recommend you put something down underneath it so that as you're painting, you can clean up. So I just use craft nonstick mats, and I can link that up for you guys if you are wanting to know what this is, because as I get paint on it, I can just easily wipe it up with a paper towel or a wet wipe, and I don't get paint on my actual craft mat. So this is a non-stick craft mat surface. The other thing I wanted to point out was if you're going to be using a different color, you will need than what Teri's provided for you. If you want to use just some regular acrylic paint, you will need like a paper plate or something to get that out on. And this tip is definitely worth listening up, okay? So as you go through and you're taking off your paper on the front of this, you're going to notice that these little lines also have tape in them. So I just used my Cricut tool and dragged it around to make sure that I ended up with all of that coming out. And you can tell, it's hard for you guys to see it on camera, but you can definitely tell when you got it in front of you. Okay, so I just used my little hook tool to pull that up. So that's tip number 2 for you. So 1 is keep it on a flat surface, put it on top of something that you're going to paint on. 2 is make sure that you're using, you know, your hook tool, reading tool, whatever, to help you get that up. Now, I took everything off except for what I'm going to be painting first, which is the eyes. Teri's got directions here on the sheet for you of how you want to do it. Now, I will tell you, so the outside ring here is going to be black. The inside ring is the white, and the center part here will be black. So you want to start by lifting up the edge, start with that outer edge, and now you can take your paint and the fine tip brush Teri provided for you that will help you paint with the little fine tip brush. You're going to paint the inside, you're going to paint this, and then you remove the center part here. Let me make sure I get that up in the little directions. And then you're going to paint the inside of this black, okay? I'm sure people are going to have questions about this, so I just wanted to show you. Teri's got it in the directions, but make sure you paint the black here, and then you're going to paint the black on the inside. And then you'll pull this part up, and then you'll paint the white, okay? So do the 2 black first, let it dry. Now, it is very helpful to have like a heat gun, a low temp heat gun. I use the Ranger Heated Craft Tool. I love this thing because it helps the paint dry faster. All right. But you want to let it dry really well. Do the black on both sides first, and then wait till it's dry, and then go in and paint the white. Okay, it's very important that you do that so you don't have a lot of bleeding or anything. Now, here's another tip for you. I did one of these using the paint, and I did the other one using a Sharpie marker. Okay, I found it easier for me to use the Sharpie black marker. It does not come in the kit. I just had this in my stash, and I used this to actually go in, and I had a lot more control. So if you're worried about painting all these this little detail here, use a Sharpie. That made it a lot easier for me, and I just did it around like this. I went all the way around the 2 sides, and then I could just go in and color into the middle. Okay, so that's a tip for you if you decide you don't want to use the black paint, you're having some trouble with getting enough control using the Sharpie. I just used the black for the Sharpie for this, and then I went in and I did that for the center too. I did the same thing here. Okay, I'm just giving you some tips here. So once I got that in, see how much faster it is, and it looks a lot sharper and crisper. So that's another option for you. And then once I got these done, and then I could peel this up, and then I painted the white, and I did use the white craft paint to paint the inside. So once you've got your eyes done, so you want to do the black first and do the white, make sure it's dry, use a heat gun if you have one, or a hair dryer or something, and make sure it's really dry. Then you can go in and start painting your background color. So for that, I'm going to use, this one's going to be purple, and because it's one of the colors in my craft studio, and I want mine to be purple, so I'm just going to squirt out some purple. Now you can use, certainly use the paint that Teri gave you if you're just going to go with those colors, and be sure and shake them up really well so that it's mixed well before you open it to use it. Then you can just take your flat foam paintbrush that Teri gave you, and I like to dab it a little bit off, and then let's look how easy this is. I just painted right over it. Okay, now I'm not worrying about those lines because as the paint dries, I'm going to be able to see those anyway. You can, get really detailed and wait and, not you know, try not to go over the lines, but I found that after I did the first one and I was super careful, when I did the second one, it went really fast because I didn't worry about the lines, okay? Because I can, as it dries, and see how quickly I'm able to do this, and I'm just brushing side to side. I just wanted to show you guys real quick the technique that I'm using, because some of y'all are a little bit afraid about painting. And this is really easy to do, guys. Anybody can do this. You're going to paint the whole thing. Use your hairdryer to help you dry it if you want. But once you get it all painted, you'd also want to paint your shelves, okay? So you're going to do the same thing with the shelves. Now that we've got our cutie sign painted, dried, and the shelves installed, now it's time to put the adhesive on the back so that you're able to put this on your wall. So just flip your cutie over, and then in your packet you have 4 of these command strip tabs, okay? Take 2 of them, press them together, and they're like scrunchy, okay? So you'll hear it scrunching. You know that it's on there correctly. Then you're going to peel off one side of the sticky tape. Okay, now I'm going to put them this way. So I'm going to put one up here on his head, and you want to press that down really well. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other end. So I'm going to take the other 2, and it's great that Teri includes these with your Cricut Cutie holder so that you don't have to go to the store to buy them. All right, and then I'm going to put the other 2, the other one down here. Okay, so you've got these. Now you want to press these on really well. Okay, and then you're going to remove the sticky tab here, okay, and apply this to your wall. Now my tip for that is put it on a smooth surface wall as much as you can, and then you want to press down really well as you install it, and then let it sit up there for maybe a few hours to make sure that the adhesive has adhered well to the wall first. So I would just push it on the wall and push it down here where I've got the sticky tabs, and then let it sit there for, I don't know, usually I leave mine on for about 4 hours or so, just to make sure that it's really grabbed onto the wall before I would start to put any of my cuties on the shelves. I've got my 4 Cricut Cutie DIY shelves from Teri's Makery up on my wall. Now I'm going to add my Cricut Cuties to the shelves. Okay guys, I got the Cricut Cutie DIY signs up on the wall and put my cuties up on it. It looks so adorable. The Cricut DIY signs are from Teri's Makery. You can go to the link. I'll put a description in the video for you, in the video description for you. And don't forget to use the 10% off code. But these turned out so cute, and I have plenty of room to add more to my collection as they come out. Yay! Let me know if you think these are super fun. I really like them, and I'm glad to have shared this with you guys. Talk to you later.